Hey YouTube land, Tycondrius here, doing another action figure review. Now this is something that's not really a franchise related figure, so it's not like Star Wars or anything like that, but it is a Super 7 Ultimates figure, and it's from a movie that I've watched a couple of times, and it was done during the 1950s, I believe, was when it was originally released, and it's a depending on your age, you may already know what this is, but more than likely, it is a obscure movie called This Island Earth. And the only reason I know of it is because they actually watched it as part of, if you're a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, they actually watched the movie with commentary throughout when they did it. I think it was part of the Mystery Science 2000 movie. I think they did. It was like they did a movie of them watching a movie kind of thing, and the whole stick with Mystery Science 3000 is there was a guy who was basically abandoned or like sent to space, and he was living with robots, and as punishment or torture, whichever way you want to put it, he was forced to watch cheesy science fiction B movies, and This Island Earth is one of the ones that he's forced to watch, and it has this interesting designed creature in it called the Metaluna mutant. So the box for this is absolutely amazing. You can see it's designed off the head of this creature, so you see the kind of bulging brain matter with the veins going through it. On the front of the box is the face, and what I love about this is when you open the box, the mouth part drops down and you have the name of the creature, and then you have like the image the picture or the actual figure in behind the plastic, but then you have all the kind of legalese stuff on the bottom of the box, and then you have like Super 7 Ultimates written on it, and it is for 14 plus, so it is quite a nice box. The box itself is just really cool. Now there is two versions of this figure released. In this scale, I believe there might be a small reaction scale figure of this as well, but the two figures release of this is this version, which I have here, and there's a glow-in-the-dark version which I don't have, but if it's anything by how this one is done, it's a really cool figure. So he's fairly light on accessories, so he comes with this extra head which has a big gash in the brain area at the front, and in the movie I believe either the heroes end up destroying one or they meet one that's been injured in the movie, and it's has this big gash in it. He has two alternate versions of his claws. Now the difference with these are permanently closed, so if you have, if I just move stuff, if I have attachment or something that I can hold, using Batman's grenade launcher here for an example, it will hold them without them falling out of the hands, whereas the articulated claws, you risk them just kind of popping open and not getting a good grasp on anything. So you have that. I know it looks odd. The creature never actually had any weapons, I don't think, in the movie. There wasn't any like ray gun or kind of science fiction gun that it had, but it is a really nicely designed figure. So for height wise, it does stand, put it in more neutral, it does stand around just over 7.25 inches tall, because it is a fairly tall creature with its big bulbous head. Detailing wise, it is really nicely detailed, and it is nicely articulated. You can see it has this big chunky back piece. It is interesting to think that there was a guy in basically in a rubber suit or monster suit when they made this. So the way the arms are designed, it is kind of interesting, because this is where the actor's normal elbow would be, this is where his wrists would be, and then they added in this extra chunky piece with the graspy claws. And I think the way they did this is, if you remember those old toy claws that you pull the little triggers on, they had like pinchers on them. I think they did something along those lines, where the actor was holding one of those things here and the rest of the hand was where that whole thing would extend, and then they had the grasping claws on it. So it actually has double articulation joints in the arms, which is cool. Now the arms don't really get all the way around because of the way these big bicepy bulgy things are. It's probably the best way to describe them. There is a hinge, so you can kind of hinge out to the side and kind of close, and then back about that much, forward about that much. There is a swivel in each of the hinges, so you have swivel, hinge, and then in the wrists there's only swivel, but in the pinchers there is actually swivels, as I would imagine, for the pinchers, where if you want the other ones with the permanent close, you have to pull out the hand. Now, I'm not sure how easy it is to do, so just pop in the hand with the permanent close claw, and then you can have them holding something if you so wish. There isn't much in the way of waist articulation. The head is on a really nice ball joint, so you get great range of movement on it. It is such a big bulbous head, it's hilarious, and the detailing is just really nicely done. Swap out the heads, it's just on the ball peg, so you pop it off and put on the one that you want. And then for the legs are actually quite articulated, so you can actually sit down pretty well. He has a single jointed knee, but there's no kind of swivel in it. There is a hidden thigh swivel, which is nice. He does have rocker ankles, and he does have tiny peg holes on the front of his feet. Now, there isn't any display base with him. There has been other figures in the past. I believe Diamond selected a figure of this guy, and I think that might have come with a base, but this one doesn't. So for size comparison, the only other Super 7 Ultimates sort of scale figure I have is that Red Jackal Destro. You can see the height between these two. And then for other scale comparisons, do I have anyone else I can bring in without knocking everything over? I have a feeling I'm going to drop everything here in a second. We'll bring in McFarlane's, one of the Batmans. Can't remember the name of him, but you can see he is a bit taller. I'm not sure if these guys are supposedly scaled for 6-inch or for 7-inch. I always felt that the Ultimates line was more of a 7-inch scale figure line. So if I bring in a 6-inch figure from Star Wars, he is a good bit smaller than Destro. So you can see the scaling is more akin to a 7-inch scale line than a 6-inch line. But overall, it is a really nice figure. I picked this one up from Big Bad Toy Store. I had been on pre-order for quite a while. I think the glow-in-the-dark version came out first, and I went with this one because I wasn't sure how well I'd like it. But if I can, I might pick up the glow-in-the-dark version at some point and do a review of that, because it's a glow-in-the-dark figure, and I'm a sucker for glow-in-the-dark figures. I have the glow-in-the-dark reaction Mars Attacks Trooper, and that's really cool. And that was done by Super 7 as well, so they're really good at doing their glow-in-the-dark style figures. One thing that I didn't know, pick up, or didn't mention as well, there's actually the kind of faction belt on his belt, or what would be considered his belt. I'm not even sure if he's wearing clothes or this is the way that's supposed to be his natural skin, because it kind of looks like he's wearing a suit, but it's the same skin color as his skin, so it's kind of hard to tell. But overall, it's a really cool and creepy creature design. Kind of something similar akin to the creature from the Black Lagoon. That was kind of unique for its time, and it was quite cool. This one also is unique for its time, and is kind of, it's a cult classic style B-movie monster, if that's the best way to describe it. So if you're not familiar with it, do check out the film. I think you can watch it on YouTube. There's probably different places you can watch it. There's, if you can find this Mystery Science 3000 or Mystery Science Theater 3000 stuff, which I think is on Netflix at the time of this recording. They could have taken it down. That one might be still up on that as well. So if you haven't that, have a check it out and see if you like it or not. But overall, pretty cool figure. I do recommend picking him up if you can get him. As I said, I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and if he's still available, I'll throw a link in the description below for this video. But I hope you enjoyed this quick video review of this bizarrely space alien creature from a really bizarrely cult classic movie. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and hope you have a good day. Cheers, guys.